The Super Mario Galaxy movie, an adaptation based on what Mario fans can agree is one of the greatest games of all time. The visuals, the story, just everything you see in this film brings in so much joy in the inside. As a Mario fan myself who's been playing these games for years, I can surely say that I had a blast with this movie. Just seeing everything about this film inside the theater, seeing deep cut references and action it brings, I just can't stop thinking about this movie. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. Now, if you were to tell me that the next film was going to be based around Galaxy, I would actually believe you. Again, I'm a Mario fan. You got Mario, Luigi, Peach, Toad, Bowser, Yoshi, Bowser Jr., Rosalina, freaking Star Fox. Yeah, this movie has a lot to offer, and that's why I'm here to share my thoughts on this film. Now I bet you're asking, why would I watch somebody that's a huge Mario fan saying how absolute cinema this film is, even though there are flaws in this movie, and you know it, and especially that last video you made? Well, guess what? I refuse to look back to that video I made back in 2023, and I'm going to share an actual review on what I think about this movie. There are no spoilers here, so don't worry, I'm not going to spoil anything. This is a spoiler-free video. Anyways, I'm going to be doing something different by doing a Q&A of the film and what I thought about it and what you can expect. Now, it's question time. Is the pacing and story better than the first film? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. The pacing felt exactly like the first film, which goes very quickly into one scene and then on to the next part of the film, but it still is enjoyable as you get into it. Though there were some scenes that you don't really get to spend too much time on. You just follow it as it is, which is something that didn't really bother me, but there were some scenes that I really wish we could have spent a little bit more time on. Story-wise, I thought it was a fun galactic adventure, which wasn't really anything too emotional or too deep, which I will get into in a bit. But overall, the movie takes it lightly with the story and plot than the games. If you like the first movie, then you're definitely going to love the second movie. If I had to be honest, the movie is more of an 8 out of 10 for me. How were the characters handled? Let's start with Rosalina. Now, you'd think she would have a much bigger role since this is a Galaxy movie, right? Well, in this movie, she gets kidnapped and only gets 10 minutes of screen time in this film. She got the Luigi treatment, which was something that didn't really go well with the fan, considering how she's literally a celestial and how powerful she is, and it's literally called the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Now, that doesn't mean they misunderstood the character. Overall, she was really great in this film, as she is a very protective mother to the Lumas. And even the animation she had in this film was just amazing to look at. Even the reactions and the expressions she made, oh my goodness. It was something that we've never seen before from her, aside from the video games, of course. Brie Larson was a perfect choice for her considering how much of a Nintendo fan she is, and was proudly putting the best acting that she can. As for the other characters, Mario, Luigi, Peach, Toad, and Bowser are even more amazing in this film. The actors nailed it once again. Benny Safdie as Bowser Jr. and Donald Glover's Yoshi really impressed me with these characters. Overall, the acting is just incredible as they are. And of course, Star Fox. He was also amazing in this film, and you'll be surprised to see how important he is in this movie. Aside from the pacing and plot, this movie overall puts a huge amount of care for the Mario universe. Luigi gets more screen time than the last movie, which I was so happy to see. The licensed music has been toned down a lot in this movie. Brian Tyler's score was just an absolute masterpiece. The world is even more bigger than the first movie, considering how much characters and elements there are included. Did this movie live up to my expectations? Now, this is where I realized I needed to have my expectations low the moment this movie got mixed reviews from the critics and even the fans. What I have hoped to expect from this movie was for Illumination to take risk with the film. You know, something they've never done before considering how much Super Mario Galaxy means to a lot of those who have played the games, and how much the first movie was received by the critics, and even the fans for its fast pacing. I did have two things in my mind for what I hoped to see was going to happen in this movie the moment I saw it, and none of those made it into the movie, but that's okay. That didn't disappoint me at all. I happily took what this movie gave us, and it's not just from me, but so many other people who saw this movie must have had high hopes for this movie too. It's no wonder why the movie was so received with mixed reviews, and yet I still had a blast with this movie. So in all honesty, it didn't exactly live up to my expectations, but again, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that this movie was good, and I enjoyed it. Is it as faithful to the source material? For a movie called the Super Mario Galaxy movie, it wasn't really a faithful adaptation of the games, but rather a celebration of the Mario franchise in general. Considering this film was meant to be the main dish of the 40th anniversary of Mario, it's like the movie took half of the elements of Super Mario Galaxy and dumped a bunch of other Mario games on the other half, and sprinkled some Star Fox on it. And I know some might be disappointed about this, but just because it didn't really put too much effort into the Galaxy aspect doesn't mean the movie disrespected the source material. Again, there is a lot of love put into this movie, it's just there were missed opportunities they could have added into the plot that would have made it more interesting, and they just went for the fun parts. It may have not had the same level of a Pixar movie of emotions and drama, but this is Illumination we're talking about, especially a Mario movie. If you're a huge fan of the Super Mario Galaxy games, then this movie isn't exactly what you would have thought of it to be. If it would have just been called the Super Mario Bros. Movie 2, then it probably wouldn't have received that much backlash. Are there any pros and cons? Let's start with the pros. The visuals are stunning to look at, especially the Galaxy aspects. The music was just beautiful to listen to. Again, Brian Tyler cooked hard with the score. The Mario world is even more expanded than the first movie. I had a fun time with this movie, and every scene I saw had me put a smile on my face. Then we got the cons. Again, there were genuinely some scenes that I really wish we could have dived deeper into the film. The movie itself revealed the relationship between Peach and Rosalina, and low-key this had me going, but then it doesn't really explain much further into their relationship, and then we just move right into the next scene, which I really wish we would have gotten more information on. It also makes you question about a few things in the movie that doesn't fully explain what the specific part of a scene to the plot, especially with Peach and Rosalina, that I really wish could have been explained a lot more, because their connection to this film had me intrigued. I also think the movie could have been nearly 2 hours long, since it probably would have given more time to at least spend more time with the story, but those are only my thoughts. Is this movie absolute cinema? It was a bumpy road from the beginning with the announcement of the Super Mario Galaxy movie, especially since there were a lot of concerns when this movie was announced and the division between the fans whether it was going to be an improvement or the same from the first movie. In all honesty, I really thought this movie was good. Even with the flaws, it's still a good Mario movie that makes me smile throughout the whole film. To me, it's very enjoyable to watch over and over. So, how did this movie do with the audience? Well, it got a 91 on audience score, which is good, proving this movie is entertaining to watch. As for the critics, well, their response weren't so friendly. Same flaws like the first movie, and I could understand some parts of the film, but there are some other articles that are completely outrageous and are just rage bait, for sure. But that doesn't mean it's true. As for the fans, it's enjoyable, but there are some flaws that are very mixed. Fans loved it for being a celebration of the Mario universe, but there are other half of the fans who thought the movie was underutilized for not being a Mario Galaxy movie. Everyone has their own opinions and thoughts on this film. Was I expecting this film to have a heartfelt impact? Yeah, but do I think the movie is bad? Not at all. I thought they adapted it really well. The flaws of the movie may have disappointed for those who wanted to see an improvement from the first movie, either its pacing or story, or just wanted an actual adaptation of Super Mario Galaxy. But in an article with Nintendo and Illumination, sadly they never had any intentions to adapt the Mario Galaxy games in the first place. Which explains a lot if you think about the whole story and plot. Now, it doesn't mean they misunderstood what could have made Mario Galaxy a masterpiece. Again and over again, a lot of love and effort was put into this movie, and they at least tried to build a new story between the characters and plot. Critics may never understand the concept of Mario. The movie may not be for everyone, and that's okay, but it definitely is a movie worth watching if you're a fan of Mario or just looking for some entertainment, or if you're a big fan of Mario. It's guaranteed to make $1 billion in the box office, regardless of the flaws. In the end, to me, it's a masterpiece in my book, and I can't wait to see what comes in the future with more Nintendo movies, and especially the Mario movie franchise. Bonus question. Does this movie set up a Super Smash Bros. Movie, aka the Nintendo Cinematic Universe? Remember when I said Fox had a more supporting role than a Pacific Mario character? Yeah, Fox had a major role in the movie than Rosalina. Now, I don't think it necessarily means they're setting up a Super Smash Bros. Movie as of now, but I don't know, man. Something tells me they are setting up a Super Smash Bros. Movie. That has to be the only reason why.